Hello, world. I'm here. I'm here, and I'm here to stay. Especially you, Chicago, if you've stumbled on to this video. And who would start a video with this kind of diabolical face? Well, it's got a purpose. Because I aim to bring attention to something that attention must be brought to. And we'll do a little costume change because I'm sure it's very difficult. This is all about vulnerability. This is all about honesty. I'm a man, human, a father, a husband, warrior, shaman. These archetypes I cannot deny, just like you have some in you that you can't deny. The stories our ancestors left us, the religion, the mythology, this metaphor is the only way we can talk about the things that matter. And yet, we've become a world and a species now identifying more with machines than we do our own animalness. We've been trying to separate ourselves in half for decades, thinking that the spirit is over the flesh. It's two sides of the same coin. What is consciousness anyway? Is it in our toes, in our ears, in our nose? I happen to theorize it's like an axis mundi. My partner does massage therapy and tells me all kinds of stories of people being more tense you are, and you don't even realize it. Why? Why don't you realize how constricted you are? Well, it's your left brain. Because your left brain has to have answers. We are a left brain, we are a right brain, we are masculine, we are feminine. We are animal, we are consciousness. We are both. And without the harmony, there is suffering. And we are suffering terribly. Just like any tool and any technology that comes along, the machines, it's pretty funny how sci-fi predicts the future. The machines have already taken over. The savvy tech savants call it the race to the stem. And the irony that they're using our own animalness, our brain, one of the most primordial parts of our brain, against us. The dopamine screens, the buttons. These are surrogate trances that keep us so unfulfilled, and they're unsustainable. Maybe in the future, there'll be many ways to harmonize our animalness with technology. Absolutely. But I am terrified, especially for my 8-year-old son, and for those that are suffering just like I have. And please read the essay. I put a lot into that. Get your attention span back. Put your phone down. Read a book. Just sit and do nothing if you want your attention. You notice how YouTube is becoming like TikTok, the shorter the videos, all that stuff? Those AI generators are just going to eat your brain. They're going to steal it from you. Your attention, the most important thing we have to offer. And that is what I'm here to offer. I don't care about anything else anymore besides my family and this journey to build the arena. What is the arena? Well, that's something that's going to take a lot more than 15 minutes to explain. That's why I wrote partly the essay. And it's going to be an ongoing process forever, an ever-changing process. Because it's not truly an institution. And it's not a cult. It's a place to go. It is a place to become, to experience real life I heard my niece the other day say, "Are we going to do this in real life?" I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Real life." I'm 41. And oh dear, do I miss real life and not these screens. I'm going to make more videos to talk about this because I could talk about the arena and life. And I want to reach an invitation out to anyone who this resonates with, or would love to talk philosophy and life and why religion is stupid or why anything is anything. Because that's all I care about are the things that matter. And religion and myth and story were the best our ancestors could do for us. Because the things that matter, the divine drives within us, our feelings, the trials of life and death, they cannot be told or even glimpsed any other way than through story. Religion was not created to control. It's a silly, childish notion. Yes, it's been used for control. Just like, again, technology and all kinds of things. Men will find a way. Women will find a way. Humans will find a way to manipulate things in their favor. And that is Luciferian. Every single story, the story of Lucifer has so much to learn. There's so much to learn from that. And that's actually, I heard Peterson, and if you don't know who Ian McGilchrist is, it's probably the best book ever written. Ian McGilchrist, neurologist, compares current science, he's a neurologist who compares current studies to the history of our brain and our evolution through mythology and through religion and through philosophy. And philosophy comes first. First comes the idea, and then just like in science too. I'm not anti-science in any way, but to put so much into only the measurable and tangible, and to completely dismiss the immeasurable and untangible, when that's what shapes us, is absurd. We live on a spinning orb that spins around a ball of fire 100 times bigger than it in infinite blackness. And we want to be able to, that just means it's pure chaos. Okay. You know what? Big Bang believers, I'm a Big Bang believer because that story's been written thousands of years ago already. There was one and now there is many. I don't want to go off onto all these tangents. I need to stick to the purpose of the arena. Okay, let's go through here. You'll see, you got to look at the picture in the thing. This is a very rough diagram. Again, it'll be walled with rocks and vines and flowers all around the edge. The towers. It'll look. Beauty is essential. Where is beauty? It's all for sale. I know all of these things that you see in it exist already, so what's the point? But do they exist for free? For those that need it most, those that can't access these things, the experience of being alive. That is what makes us want to kill ourselves, what brings us depression and anxiety. Why did all the tribes all across the land have initiation? Because the hardest thing in life is the threshold from childhood to adulthood. And we need to help our children do this. And I completely understand and blame no one, because blame is pointless. It is pointless. It is about what you can do in your life. Politics and all the stupidity online. I'm not online, and I will not engage. I would love to have one-on-one talks with people, with just about anyone who wants to have a civil discourse. Extraordinarily just a true affinity and passion for understanding us, myself, What are we doing? My relationship to the other, to the universe. And that is what the arena is about. Every kind of experience that can be put there and you have the truth. The only path to truth is experiential. How do you find truth in science? Experiments. We all know this, and it's play. Here's a perfect example of, I think, summarizing the arena. We all see kittens, and most mammals, almost all mammals, and young children. And this is what's most devastating too about our society is people aren't having children anymore. And there is a wisdom with parenthood. And because after a few years of being a parent, I understood why. I used to think as a teenager, man, if we were just better parents, the world would be fine. And then I became a parent. I'm like, oh, I get it. It's exhausting. It is utterly exhausting. But it's everything. And the wisdom that comes from it is not something you can learn from your dog or your cat or caring for anything else but another human. Adoption, in mentoring and teaching, all that stuff counts too. But where are the fall? We've killed the king, we've killed the patriarch, we've killed the father. And it is time to give young men and struggling men a place to be, to experience, to learn respectful competition. I got off, watch a child, especially boys, not always, again, girls can be more masculine in temperament than boys and vice versa. It's not about that. We're both, all of us are both. But we also have our biology. And my son is a true, just loves physical contact, just sports, wrestling, just so fascinated by strength. And like, I can't, it's innate in him. Since he was 2 years old, he would walk into a room. Daddy, you stronger than him? It's there. And the game I'm talking about that summarizes the arena is Monster. So many parents I know, and you don't have to be a parent either to understand the game or have seen it, is when the child wants to play Monster or a version of it. Predator versus prey. We weren't always the predators. We were prey once upon a time ago. And to see the expression on the child's face when I pretend to eat him and I chase him around the room, I chase him around the park, the excitement, the utterly aliveness that happens, we miss that. That is what we are seeking. Ecstasy. Ecstasy means to be connected. And we are fragmented, isolated, more machine than human now. And we need to remember what's in our DNA. Aristotle was right. It's not about learning something new. This isn't new. There's a study done with day-old crosswords, and they did dramatically better the next day. The collective unconscious is real. And how it works, I don't have a clue. Why inventions pop up all over the world at the same time. There's no such thing as a truly original idea in my view, because all of the ideas and all the things that had to happen before that idea in your head happened, is it truly your idea? What are thoughts? What matters is harmonizing those thoughts, your consciousness, with your body. I suffered from every addiction imaginable. Anxiety, depression, suicidal many times. And then 15 years ago, after sobriety and finding dance and movement and getting back into martial arts, singing, performing, we now think, oh, I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer. Yet all of our ancestors sang and danced. All of them. We are isolated and we need to come together. And what I propose now, and I will not stop, is to bring men together again, to play together, to learn to respect each other through the art of play, because we always learn through every game we play. Whether it's intellectual game, whether it's a physical game, whatever kind it may be. And to cherish beauty and creation. When did the sun and the earth stop becoming gods? I exist because of them. The argument of God is utter ridiculousness. There was one and now there's many. We are a manifestation of it. And to understand that, we understand silence and you just connect with other humans. I'll leave this on a very dark note. We ask when we see atrocious, evil things happen. I'll just, what example can come to mind? The Idaho murders. Those 3 college kids. How could this happen? I feel terrible for the families. I feel terrible for anyone. I mean, I feel terrible for a lot of people. But isn't it incredible? This will speak to the animalness again. That we remember the serial killers, we'd never remember the victims. And that is why the serial killer does it. That is why they commit the act. Is to prove and to connect to humanity, because we can't help but need. It's an innate need to connect. And even the most evil of us need that connection. Isolation is hell, the definition. And that's what's happening to us. No more. I'm going to dance in the streets of Chicago and the parks and play and meet as many people as I have to that either want to help build or can help fund this future, to have these places all around, sanctuaries, to remember and never forget our origins and how to cope and navigate what it means to be human. We're lost. We're in an identity crisis. I can't imagine what it's like to be a teenager right now. It was rough, and it's always been rough, but rougher than ever. And I simply cannot rest because nothing else matters to me. Because I know the suffering and despair that comes from being abandoned, or the feeling of being abandoned, or being raised by parents who neglect the dragon in the house. There's no such thing as dragons. That book summarizes life. Acknowledge the conflict, and the conflict will teach you. Acknowledge the pain, and the pain will teach you. This is divine. This is what the arena will provide. And lastly, which I've probably said twice or 3 times already, Somatic Experiencing by Peter Levine will be one of the buildings. Peter Levine won't be there, and that would be amazing. Peter, if you ever hear this, that would be nice if you ever get interested in this idea. But theater is actually used a lot in a lot of activities because it is the only thing that works for truly deep, violent, and sexual trauma is somatic experiencing. So therefore, and I believe it's for everyone, not just the severely traumatized, because we're all traumatized at some point, to work through the feelings inside of us and how to cope and how to manage it. Feel it so it can teach us. Feel it so it can teach us. Feelings are facts. Truth is singular. to you. And once you understand your own truth, you won't have need for hate. You won't have a need for resentment and jealousy and all that BS that comes with it. The reason the internet is so ugly is it's just nonstop projection and no accountability whatsoever. So that's why I don't choose to participate. It's just silliness. I'm going to participate in the world. That's where I want to live. On this beautiful green, blue orb. Where this is the only place I can find beauty for free. Please join me.